Hi everyone, it's been a while, just because life and stuff, I've just not had chance to get any videos filmed or anything, and then when I did have the chance I lost the charger for my camera, so I've had to get a new charger. But I'm back and I've got somebody that I'd like you all to meet. This is Amelia-Lily Rose. She is a month old on Tuesday and I'm in love. She couldn't be any more perfect, and she's such a good baby as well.
You're beautiful, aren't you?
So she was born on January the 24th, 2017, obviously, at 6 minutes past 2 in the afternoon, and she weighed 7 pounds exactly.
You was a tiny, tiny baby, weren't you? Yeah.
She's really, really alert as well. For her age, she'll just like, if I sit here and talk to her, I mean, she's looking at me right now. And we have like a projector thing on a baby monitor in the bedroom. It projects like stars and things onto the ceiling when she's sleeping and plays music and stuff, and she loves it. I mean, I took her up to bed the other night and I didn't even put the lights on for her straight away, and straight away her eyes were up at the ceiling looking for the lights. She's not stupid at all, and for her age she's really, really, her eyes are fantastic for her age, aren't they?
You're a clever girl. You're a clever girl.
She has been smiling as well, quite a lot since a couple of days after she was born, and I know that a lot of people turn around and say, oh, she's not smiling, it's wind, it's wind. But I actually mentioned it to my health visitor and my midwife because I was convinced it was not just wind, because we'd be sitting talking to her and it was as though she was reacting to things we were saying. You can say something to her and she will smile at you, and I just thought, that's not just wind, it's too much of a coincidence. And the midwife and the health visitor both turned around and said, you know, when we have wind we don't smile. So they both think that it is like little smiles as well. They think that it's just a myth that it's wind when they smile all the time. So
You've been smiling at Mummy, haven't you? Yeah. You enjoying that bop bop?
when I had her, I was taken into hospital on, well, I wasn't taken into hospital, I had to go to the hospital for an induction on the Monday, which was the 23rd. I had to be there for 10:30 in the morning, and when I got there they just like went through everything that was going to happen with me. I was absolutely petrified. They put like pessary inside me to try and like start off the induction, and nothing really happened. They put that in and then I just wandered around the hospital, went to the cafe for some dinner and stuff with my mum and Dan, who were both my birth partners. And then at 9 o'clock on the Monday night the pain started getting worse. I started to get upset with them because they were hurting me. I was checked over and she said, oh no, you're not dilated much, you're only 1 or 2 centimetres, you have to stay on the antenatal ward. And then by, I think it was about 11 o'clock on the Monday night, I was in agony, and I was telling people that I needed to go to the labour ward right there and then. No one would believe me. And then at around, I think it was around 2 o'clock in the morning on the Tuesday morning, I literally begged the midwife to check me again to see if I was any further on. And when she checked me, I was actually about 7 centimetres dilated, and she was really shocked, and I just turned around and said, see, I told you all, I needed to go to the labour ward. So I got moved to the labour ward at 4 o'clock on the Tuesday morning. Up until then, the only painkillers that I had were, I think they'd given me some paracetamol, which when you're in labour is just absolutely pointless. And I'd had 2 shots of diamorphine as well, which was alright, it did work, but it only worked for about an hour or so, and then I was just in pain again. So then when I went to the labour ward, they gave me 1 more shot of diamorphine, and then they said, oh, that's all we can give you, you can only have 3 shots. So then I changed over to the gas and air, which originally I didn't want, but She's really listening to me. Originally I didn't want the gas and air, but I just thought, well, it's worth a try. It did help a little bit at first, but then I think it just became more of a distraction, really, when I was having a contraction. When I was having a contraction, it was just more something else to do to take my mind off the pain.
Are you listening to Mummy talking? Are you listening to Mummy talking?
About 10 o'clock, I think it was, on the Tuesday morning, they came to me and said that they needed to hook me up to the hormone drip to speed up my contractions because I wasn't really dilating much more. But they said to me that if they did that, then the contractions would get quite a bit stronger. And by that time I just thought, no, I don't want any stronger pains, so I just said, right, well, I'll have the epidural then. So I had the epidural, at which point Dan fainted because they put a needle in my back. Apparently he can't handle needles. I didn't know at the time that he had fainted. He was there in front of me holding my hand 1 minute, and then the next minute he'd gone, and I was like, where's Dan, going mad because he'd left me in labour. And I thought at the time that he'd just gone out. I heard someone saying that he'd gone out because, you know, he didn't feel too good, he felt faint. And I didn't know at the time that he had actually passed out. I just thought he felt like he was going to pass out, which annoyed me because I was like, well, I'm in labour, why has he left me, blah blah blah. But apparently he went out and he actually did pass out, and he had to sit down and stuff like that. But he wasn't out too long, I don't think. He came straight back in after. It was just, I asked him after and he said it was just the needle and seeing all the anaesthetists and stuff, putting all the masks on. Yeah, I had the epidural about 10, I think it was about 10 o'clock on the Tuesday morning, which was a godsend because after I had that, the pain just went, I was fine. I actually fell asleep after that for a good couple of hours apparently. The midwife actually had to wake me up to push her out. All I remember is the midwife waking me up saying, Rachel, come on, you need to wake up, it's time to push her out, you need to push her out. And I was like, no, go away, leave me alone. I don't really know how long I was pushing for, to be honest. I was out of it by then on gas and air, so time was just, plus all the hours that I'd not had any sleep since like the Sunday night really, so all the hours just rolled into one. But I eventually did push her out at 6 minutes past 2 on the Tuesday afternoon, and she was perfect, weren't you? You were. She did have a few problems after birth, which meant that we were in hospital for over a week after she was born. She wasn't feeding properly when she was first born. She was just like, she just would not take any other milk. They had to syringe feed her, they had to help me and syringe feed her. At first she's got tongue tie, which is the little piece of skin under your tongue. I don't know if you can see it on mine, but you'll know, the little piece of skin under your tongue. Apparently it's, on some people, it's fixed to the bottom of your mouth too far forward and they can't lift it up properly. She has that, but she's been for an appointment at the clinic since, and they've said it's not a major tongue tie, so they're not gonna snip it unless it causes any issues later on in life, like speech problems or anything for her, and then they will do it. They originally thought that a tongue tie was why she wasn't feeding properly, but I think she just wanted to get used to the world a little bit because she was fine. After a few days she started feeding fine. She was on a heated cot mattress for the first few days because she couldn't regulate her own body temperature, and then that righted itself. And they said originally that once she was feeding properly we could go home. They said that I could go, I had her on the Tuesday, they said on the Friday that we could go home. So I got really excited, got everything ready, got myself dressed, got her dressed and everything packed up, ready to go home. And then they came to me and said, oh, she can't go home because we've run some tests and she's got an infection, which means she has to stay in and have antibiotics through a drip in her hand for 5 days, and I went absolutely mental. I had like a big massive breakdown on the ward, meaning that they had to move me out of the ward and put me in my own room because I was in that much of a state. Because not only did I want to go home with her, but you know, when you've just had a newborn baby and they come to you and say, oh, she's got an infection, she's got to have a needle in the back of her hand and it's got to stay there for 5 days, pumping antibiotics into her, you know, you panic a little bit. So yeah, I was in a really bad state then, and they had to move me into a side room, which was just a room on my own with like no other patients in it. But luckily when they did that, it meant that Dan could stay with me like all the time. They'd put in like a little camp bed and stuff next to mine so that he could stay with me, which was good because there's no way that I would have coped on my own. I was bored out of my head. We were literally begging people to come and see us at the hospital just for something to do to pass the hours. The antibiotics worked well. As soon as she was started on them, the infection marker started coming down. She did have a little bit of jaundice as well, but the antibiotics got rid of that as well because it wasn't too bad. You know when you're in hospital and you have like the drip thing in the back of your hand? It was like one of those that she had in, and it literally stayed in for 5 whole days, didn't come out at all, and I hated it. When they brought her back from putting it in her hand, I had another breakdown because she was so tiny, and I just looked at her hand and thought, oh my god, she's got a big ugly needle in the back of her hand. That must hurt her, because I mean, I had a drip in when I was in labour and it wasn't nice, you know. You knock that needle a tiny little bit and it does really hurt, so I just thought she shouldn't have that in her hand, you know, it must be hurting her. And I got really upset, and they tried reassuring me saying it's not hurting her, it's fine, she doesn't even know it's there, but I just couldn't stand to look at it. I had some tiny baby socks in my suitcase that I'd packed for when she was going home. They put one over her hand like a little glove so that I couldn't see the needle, but still it looked like she had like a plaster cast on her arm, and her arm just looked really heavy and dead all the time. It was horrible. I'm glad that they picked up on it in the hospital, and they picked up on it before they sent us home. Excuse me, what was that noise? Because if we'd have brought her home and then they'd have picked up on it after, she could have been really poorly. So as much as I hated having to stay in hospital all that time, because I wanted to just get her home and show her off, I am glad that it was sorted out before we came home. Mwah. Mwah. She's such a good baby. I mean, she is waking us up in the middle of the night, obviously, all babies do, but she could be a lot worse. She's sleeping for like 3-4 hours before she's waking us up, and then when she does wake up for a bottle, she'll just drink a bottle, have a nappy change, get winded, and she's straight back off to sleep. She's really good, so I can't complain.
We can't complain, can we? No. Are you saying hello? Who's that?
She's absolutely gorgeous. I know that all mums and dads say that about their own children, but she really is. I know she is because people keep telling me. Look at that little face.
Look at that little face. Oh, are you tired, Pudding?
I just wanted to jump on and finally get a video up to introduce her. I mean, I know that most of you have already seen like the announcement and pictures and stuff like that, but YouTube hasn't seen anything because I literally haven't made a video since before Christmas. I did have some footage over Christmas that just never got uploaded, but I don't know, I kind of think it's a little bit too late to upload that now. I'm hoping that the videos will get more regular now, because not only do I want footage for you guys, but I also want the footage to keep of her when she's tiny, and like to make videos for her to look back on and for me to look back on and stuff like that. It's just that she constantly wants my attention, so it's really hard at the moment to actually get the camera out and start filming, but I'm going to do my best. And obviously once she's a little bit bigger and a little bit more independent, I'll be able to get the camera out and film little bits as well. Oh, and she definitely remembers things from being in the womb as well when I was pregnant, because if she's playing up a little bit and she won't go to sleep, I've put a little bit of Calabro music on my phone, just like on quite a low volume. Honestly, she's asleep like that in seconds. She loves it. And with me being a massive Calabro fan, that's what I played a lot of when I was pregnant, so she obviously remembers it, don't you? You do. You do. Well, as you can see, she's so good. She's so chilled out and laid back. She just, once you've fed her and you've changed her nappy, just sit and talk to her and she's happy as Larry. Look at her, just looking around.
You're having a good nosy, aren't you?
She does not like the bath though. She doesn't like the bath at all. She's fine until you put water on her and then she'll scream.
Don't like the bath, do you? You're not a water baby yet.
But I think all newborns are like that. I think give it a few months and she'll be fine. She'll love it, won't you?
You like splashing about.
I'm gonna go and put her pyjamas on. Just before I do go though, now that she's here and I'm feeling pretty much back to normal again, I am going to be getting going on my gigs again. If you do want to book me for any event or party or just for a gig in a pub or a club or whatever, get in touch and we'll sort something out. My charity event this year will be in August, so there'll be more information coming on that very, very soon as well. Don't forget to like this video if you have enjoyed it and share it around with all your friends.
Oh!
Excuse you. Like this video if you've enjoyed it, share it with your friends and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you again soon with this little one. Thanks for watching, bye!